Hey guys, welcome back to the House of Wrinkles, bringing you the how-to for English Bulldogs and other canine tips and tricks. Today, Zoe and I have a really good message for you, so stay tuned. Today, Zoe and I want to talk to you about eye problems. So specifically, eye injuries or eye infection, not cherry eye. So if you're dealing with cherry eye, then you want to click on this video up here because we've already done a video on that. So today we're talking about eye injuries or infections. And Zoe recently had an episode. We woke up and she was keeping her eye closed really tightly, and I could tell she was in pain. So eye injuries or eye infections are super important. You want to call your vet as soon as possible. But today what I'm going to talk to you about is if you can't get to your vet quickly, or if it's the weekend and you don't want to spend the extra money to go to an emergency vet, then I'm going to just give you a couple of tips that will help you get through until you can see your vet. So first off, I want to tell you, if your dog has an eye infection or an eye injury that is keeping him or her from opening their eye properly, by closing it or keeping it tightly shut, this can cause or will cause an eye ulcer. And what an eye ulcer is actually like a bubble that forms around the eyeball. It usually has a bluish tint to it and can kind of look like your dog's going blind. If this is happening, this is super serious. So what I've learned is there's an ointment that the vets prescribe to you that is exactly like Neosporin. So if your dog is having an emergency eye issue and you can't get to your vet, you want to go to your local grocery store or pharmacy and get just regular Neosporin. Now they make Neosporin with like pain relief and all those kind of things. You don't want to get that. You want to make sure it says original Neosporin. And this, you just put a little bitty sliver in the infected eye, and this tremendously helps. It can actually heal the eye from certain infections or injuries without any other treatment. But one thing I want to tell you is eye injuries or infections, they do take quite a while to completely heal up. So we're talking about weeks, months. This not a quick fix. So if your dog has an issue and it doesn't seem like it seems like it's getting better, but it's not actually going away, you just kind of have to be patient because this is a long process. Once you actually are able to get to the vet, they can do something for eyes that I think is absolutely amazing. And I didn't know about this, obviously, and so I figure a lot of you may not either. So I want to tell you, ask the vet to draw blood from your dog, and what they do is they spin it. Blood, once it's spinned, it breaks down into 3 layers, and the top layer is plasma. And they can send you home with your dog's plasma and put it in an eyedropper, and you can put that in your dog's eye, and it is an amazing healing property. It actually does not have to even be your own dog's blood. It can be any dog's blood, which I thought was super interesting because you would think, you know, it would just have to come from your dog, but it doesn't. So if they have trouble getting blood from your dog for some reason, or if you can't get your dog to the vet and you need a refill on this, they can get blood from another dog. So that's super interesting, and it is absolutely what I have found works the best for healing eye issues. Once you start trying to doctor a sick eye, sometimes it will seem like the eye's getting worse before it gets better, but that is very typical, so don't be worried. The blood and the Neosporin used, you know, interactively throughout the day will definitely heal your dog's eye. So I want to stress that eye issues are super important. If not taken care of in a timely manner, your dog can lose their eye. So what can happen is the ulcer can actually rupture. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture to show you of that because thankfully that has never happened to us. You could probably Google a ruptured ulcer, and if you're worried that maybe your dog's eye ulcer has ruptured. But what I can tell you that what happens is it actually breaks open and it looks like maybe like skin or some kind of membrane coming out of it. It's very, very disturbing, but you definitely don't want that to happen. So, because that can potentially mean that your dog's gonna lose his eye. But what I will say is an ulcer itself doesn't mean that your dog is losing its eyesight. It looks like it. It looks like the dog is going blind because of the way the ulcer looks, but that's not the case as long as it's treated within a timely manner. So now Zoe and I want to demonstrate how to put eye medication into a dog's eye. Obviously, if they're in pain, they're not going to be too open to the idea. Her eye is almost completely well at this point, so she's not as hesitant about letting me put stuff in her eye. But a lot of times Eric is out of town and I'm having to do this on my own. So one person, sometimes it can be kind of tricky on how to get medication in their eye. So I'm going to show that to you now. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to come up behind the dog. You might want to conceal the weapon because when they see you coming with it, that makes it worse. But if you get behind the dog and put one leg on both sides of the dog, you can kind of contain the dog from moving. And they can also keep their head up. So now she's a little bit more used to this now because this is pretty routine for us. But if your dog is in pain, it's not going to be this easy, obviously. But I hold the bottom of their chin so I can hold them up and then pry the eye open like that. Drop it in. Either drops or the Neosporin, either way. Do it one more time. I'm going to kind of, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it so much. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Shoot us a little comment if something in this video helped you, and we'll see you next time.